Hello everyone, GeneralApple here with the House in Fata Morgana playthrough part 8. So last time we stopped at a really nice point. We started a new door, the Act 3, with Jacopo and the whole industrial area shenanigan tree. We merely started, but we got a glimpse at the new characters and they seem incredible. So I really thought about this game this past week a lot and I'm super excited to actually play it again because I really want to continue. This is honestly one of the best games I ever played, if I'm being totally honest. So let's just jump back to where we left off last time. This is something that actually happened to another maid. She heard a sound in the middle of the night. A sound like dripping water. At first, she thought it was raining, so she looked through the window and there wasn't a cloud in the sky to cover the stars. Maybe it's a faucet, she thought. So she stepped out of her room and into the corridor. Compared to the room, it was unearthly chilly. The maid regretted not bringing something to cover herself with. But that didn't make any sense. Normally, the temperature wasn't that much colder outside her room. Her night clothes had always been more than enough for a trip to the lavatory. Wondering what the reason could be, she made her way towards the sound, but then she realized something. There were no faucets in the direction she was going. Rather, she was headed towards a hall. The mansion where she served had many halls, but this one was off in a far corner of the house, the least used hall of them all. It had a high roof, but not a lot of space, so it was difficult to make good use of. It also had a somewhat heavy air to it. A very curious room. It was the kind of place you might assign someone to clean as part of their hazing. Anyway, when the maid realized the sound was coming from that particular hall, she, as you might expect, let out an uncomfortable sigh. But there might be a leak, and having noticed, she couldn't simply ignore it, you know? So, as much as she hesitated, she pushed open the doors to the hall. There was nobody there, and it didn't look like anything was leaking either. There were no puddles or water stains anywhere to be found. But she could still hear the sound, drip, drip, getting louder and louder, slowly stepping further into the room. Looking left, then right, then left again, she searched for the source of the sound, coming to a stop in the center of the hall. She stood there still, quiet, and then a chilly spot on the nape of her neck. With a little yelp, she reached back to feel her neck, but it wasn't wet. Confused, she slowly, wearily tilted her head backwards. Oh my god, don't jump! Ah! God damn it, and there hung a bloody skeleton from the ceiling. Ah, Jacopo. That's a nice story. That's rich, amazing. Oh my god, you're scaring like a little girl. Oh man, okay. This is funny. I like this. I like Maria. Maria, you little. My god, are you men or children? This is my house, and I would rather you didn't talk about it like that. Whose words were those again? Shut your mouth. How do you know about that? Were you eavesdropping? And another thing, I do not care for the sort of stupid, fantastical tales that you women love to pass around. Because they scare you? You've never been able to handle anything scary, Jacopo. Whoa, don't glare at me like that. You're gonna destroy my sight. Man. So, did you come here for the sole purpose of telling me that cheap tripe? Acting tough after the fact just makes you look twice as much of a wuss. True? Well, I mean, I did make up a good half of it, but the maid really did hear a sound in the middle of the night, and it came from the back hall of this very mansion. Did you know? They say it used to be a chapel? Again, I have no interest in you woman little ghost stories. Is that so? You sure you're not just scared? Maria! Well, that said, the rumors aren't completely unfounded. This is a pretty old mansion and it has a lot of work done on it. Kinda feels like it's barely holding itself together. like a big old guild with pieces from all different time periods. She knows. The back hall is the oldest patch, is one of the oldest patches. There's a huge window on the far end, and supposedly there used to be stained glass in it. It was a depiction of an archangel, they say. Oh, I do remember that. Such a shame. I wonder when it was broken. It is broken. If it were still there, I'd bet it'd be worth a fortune. I find that hard to believe. First of all, why would anyone put a chapel inside a mansion? You've got a point, I guess. Now, how about you do some actual work instead of distracting yourself with all this nonsense? I do work, but the other mates can be a bit nasty, you know? Dealing with other women is like walking on glass. Am I to blame for that? What if I said you were? Ah, don't give me that look. They're just not fond of me, simple as that. Nothing you can do about it. Is that so? Oh yeah, I was talking to the madam, and she was telling me you used to be quite the gentleman. Were you perhaps actually in love back then? You sure don't act like it, so it's easy to miss, but I guess you're not made entirely out of steel. Just like when you were younger, you're still... Do not speak of that. The past is not worth remembering, it is unnecessary. I highly disagree. So to you, the past exists just to be cast aside? Nah, it's not important. You don't want me to talk about it, I won't talk about it. But your wife... Never mind. I'll leave you be. I have to get back to work soon, or I'll be staring down the head-made erratic smile. Arctic smile. Alright. If the fancy strike me, I'll drop by and we can trade more ghost stories. Maria. Huh? What? No ghost story? No, not that. I have not forgotten those days. Wow. What days? But no, it's... The days when he was actually a young lad. I'll be off then. Alright. If the fancy strikes you, drop by and we can trade something other than ghost stories. Ah, what'd I tell you? I'll consider it. Goodbye. I really like how we dressed, by the way. So fancy. Very classy. I like this. Elegance. I can't escape anything. No, you can never escape the past, friend. Ah, they've grown to be so beautiful. Such a wonderful fragrance. The scent of roses is so calming. I wonder why that is. Would it cause any trouble if I picked one? Well, hello there. Out for a midnight stroll, are you? Quite the peculiar hobby. Madam? I cannot spend as much time as I would like outside during the day, so I end up coming out at night. I apologize if I startle you. Oh no, not at all. There is a chilling, captivating beauty to the sight of your snow-white form standing there in the moonlit garden. I would hardly... what are you doing out so late? I saw a figure through the window. On the slight chance it might be a burglar, I thought it my responsibility to ensure they did not break in. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer servant broke into their safe. News of that spread quite far. I am sure you would have heard about it. Oh, but Gamesh was imprisoned some time ago. Dear me, cannot seem to get my head out of the past. Huh? Do you intend to give that white rose to someone? Yes. I was thinking about giving it to my husband. Wait, what did she say about this man again? News of that spread. It was also in the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. Huh. Okay, maybe this will be a relevant piece of information. Okay. While I expect he has little fondness for such feminine taste, the scent of flowers has truly a calming effect. He might find it relaxing when he needs a reprieve from his work. Oh, is that so? You are very kind-hearted. Speaking of white roses, the rose he meant to give you was the same shade of white. Oh, he? But when you touched it, it turned Into a deep shade of red. Whoa, she's talking about the first door. What? Yeah, I remember that. There was but a single white rose in the garden, so he was unable to give it to you as he had wished. In its place, he had a decorative rose fashioned for you. What exactly are you referring to? Okay, this is big. Oh dear, do you not remember? Then I'm to assume you have forgotten what happened to the rose accessory as well. He was unable to give that to you either. Okay, the music all distorted, but that time, because you rejected the gift, I'm not criticizing you for that decision, of course. You had a perfectly good reason for not accepting it. Heartbroken from having lost you, he buried the rose in this garden. Over the year, the roses in this garden withered away, and in their place grew a thick, unsightly nest of weeds. She's talking about the beast area now. Many, many years later, that accessory was dug up by a beast. And curiously enough, it had not a speck of rust on it. A beast. Do not remember him either. That's... Okay, something with time is off here. The foreign man who, through his interaction with you, almost regained his humanity. I'm sorry. I have no idea what you speak of. The only gift I've ever received from men is my Fanky's wheel. And furthermore, I have only lived in this mansion for a year. While the garden was not as thriving as it is now, it was certainly not in ruins when I arrived. Because I'd been taking care of it, yes. But for whatever reason, by my hands alone, I was unable to make it into anything quite splendid as it is now. Once you arrived and began to work on it, however, just look around, you have restored it to its former glory, to the magnificence of the flaxen hair family time. I promise I'm not trying to fault you for anything. Now that I think about it, it makes sense you would not remember. Though you are still you, you are different than before. Different, though not in the sense that you are a wholly distinct person. Tell me, is your name... Oh my god. My name is... Yes. But you should already know that. Okay, did we hear his name before? Why would they censor it? Again? More proof that you are you indeed. That you are indeed you. Did you know that your current name is pronounced as the same as the name of the person you are waiting for? What are you talking about? I have met you many times, and I know of your past, of events that transpired long, long ago. I'm telling you the truth. I first came to this mansion just a year ago. Man, that would be a massive twist if we're her, like we as the player, because we have an amnesia and we don't seem to remember who we are, so we can be the white-haired girl. That would be funny. Until then, I had never left my country or even set foot out of my own house. We did not have any servants either. So where then are you saying we met? This mansion, of course. But I'm telling the truth. It was a year ago, shortly after my parents fell ill and received an offer for my marriage. I knew something had to be done, I knew it, and so I'm telling you the truth. If that is what you remember, then I do not doubt you. But I also suspect I know why you seem so flustered. Are there moments when your memories seem hazy? When it seems like important details have fallen through the cracks? You needn't fret. One day, eventually, you shall remember all. One day. Oh my god. Okay, that's kind of big. Jacopo, what the hell is this? A white rose. Did she leave this here? A flower? What does she think she's doing? Is she trying to aggravate me? That garden, that damn rose garden, is the whole problem. Flower serves no purpose but to deceive. That garden is a sign of weakness. It had no place. It has no place in this house. Oh man, don't destroy it, dude. Approximately a week had passed since then. The white-haired girl was, as usual, spending her time in her room, reading, staying inside the house. Then Maria barged in. Oh my god. Madam, madam. Oh my, you're out of breath. What happened? What happened is that we have a big problem. The garden, the rose garden. The garden, all the roses you put us in love and put so much love and care into growing are being chopped down. We'll lose them all if we don't hurry. Upon hearing the news, the white-haired girl dashed from her room and towards the garden, with Maria following close behind. When she arrived, she saw a dozen or so sweaty, rugged men at work, Jacopo shouting orders. The men clearly had no concept of how much a single flower was worth, no concern whatsoever for their beauty, for they mercilessly, thoughtlessly hacked away at the shrubs like they were naught but weeds. Each flower they tore from the earth extinguished another of many lives of the white-haired girl had put so much time and effort into tending for. Jacopo, what are you... Oh, hello, Maria. I didn't expect you would come with her. Why would you do... Why it goes without saying. This house has no need of a garden. Damn flower have no place here. Might as well do something worthwhile with the soil. A miniature railroad would be better use of the space, and certainly a great deal easier on the eyes. I could even get my hands on some genuine wheels. The same wheels being used on the revolutionary transactional railroad. Oh, transcontinental railroad. 10 or 20 years down the line, they'll be worth a fortune. Nice thinking ahead. You know how much this garden meant to me, don't you? Did it honestly have no place here? Flowers have a calming effect on people. They give you peace. They are not by any means worthless. So you're saying white rose was your passive-aggressive way of telling me to calm down? Not at all. I simply thought you... At the end of the day, you're just using them for your own purpose, to trick and deceive. To you, this rose garden was nothing but... Jacopo, you've gone too far. This isn't right. Huh, gone too far? This is my mansion. What I do with my property is my business. With that rose arch out of the picture, we'll have much better view. There won't be anything blocking the sun any longer. Weren't you supposed to be sensitive to sunlight? Spend too much time out here and you're liable to fall ill. Get back inside now. You too, Maria. Shame on you. The poor thing, though she did not say a word, was surely thinking, are you truly that determined to rob me of my sanctuary? The words twirled around in her head, unable to make the final journey to her lips. She stood there looking down at her own feet as her husband marched off, and listened to the screams of the roses being reaped. After being torn down by Jacopo, the garden reverted to a state of ruined desolation. A shame. After all the work that went into restoring it to the beauty it had under the flaxen-haired family. And as Jacopo had said, its place went scraps of metal, trains wheel, prototype models, carbon rods. These items may have had value for him, but I certainly do not think it was worth robbing his wife of a place that made her feel comfortable, just so he could store them there. Besides, I was rather fond of the rose garden myself. The roses seemed to evoke a sense of nostalgia in me. I felt as though somewhere, far beyond the edge of my memories, I had seen another garden of roses, modest though it may have been. But I cannot remember when it was. Does that come as a surprise to you? I am quite sure there are periods of the mentioned history of which I am not aware. But in any case, Jacopo had caused many people great pain in order to repurpose that garden for himself, and he continued to walk all over his wife. Whenever she tried to do something kind for him, he would brush her off, saying, "That's not your place." He paid no mind whatsoever to the looks of dejection that rose to her face each time that he rejected her. I was beginning to wonder if anything she had said about the men had been a year earlier was actually true. And if it was true, could a person really go through such drastic change of heart in such a short time? What do you think, Master? No, I've spoken enough about me already. I seem to be talking a lot about myself this time, but that is hardly appropriate behavior for a maid. Now let's return to our tale. That evening, the white-haired girl sat in a room, staring sorrowfully at her Fenki's wheel. A small mirror before her, she tried spinning the paper disc. But it was just not the same as before. Her husband was not there at the side, and even more critically, there was no smile on her face. And then she heard a faint knock on her door. Who is it? It's me, madam, it's me. May I come in? Oh, Maria. Of course, come in. What are you doing here at this time of night? I was just wondering how you were doing. Should I have left you alone? Oh, it's no trouble at all. I am always glad to have you. You're making me blush, madam. I got a feeling you were a little down in the dumps. So I'm not here because I need to be. I just kinda ended up here, I guess. Maria. Sorry, I'm not making any sense. I can be a bit of a busybody, you know? Trouble with boundaries, I guess. Never been able to fix that. No, I don't consider you intrusive at all. I cannot count how many times your bright smile and cheerful energy have shone light on me when things were dark. If I didn't have you, I would have given up already. You seem to see right through me. Even now, you're exactly right. I am feeling a bit dispirited. That garden was an even bigger life raft than I thought. Perhaps I'm being overly dramatic, but roses were almost like children to me. I get it. I do. You put your heart and soul into tending that garden. It was obvious how much you love them. Of course, it's gonna hurt watching a bunch of men stomp all over your flowers when you cared for them like your own children. Now, I know I said this once already, but you don't need to force yourself into put up with him. Really. You don't have to bend to his will just because you're a woman. You can survive without him. Anytime you want to walk away, that's your choice. I mean, I'd sure been lonely if you left, madam. But your happiness is more important than any of that. So, you know. Thank you, Maria. I truly do appreciate it. But I would still like to wait for the day I can see his warm smile once more. If you say so. Well, in that case, I guess I'll just have to be there to back you up. It'll be alright. You leave everything to this holy virgin. I'll have a stupid grin on my face no matter how down you're feeling. You really are the reincarnation of the Mother of God, aren't you? Oh, I told you, it's just a joke. Whatever. So hey, madam, about a dance? A dance at this time of night? Yep, and since it's so late, no live music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for... We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that just put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry, Jacopo's out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. The rest of the maids are in their rooms chatting away. No one notice. Where I come from, we dance all the time. We take eat, drink, and be merry to heart. No food or drink for us, but we absolutely can dance. Dancing is a great way to forget all of your cares. Not much of a dancer. No big deal, nobody watching. Come on, put on a little fancy perfume and let's have some fun. I don't have any perfume though. Didn't think so. You've got all the right ingredients, madam, but you don't try to make anything special out of them. You've got so much potential, but not even a decent-sized wardrobe. At the very least, you should wear some perfume, which is why I brought some with me. The maids are in love with this stuff. It's a big hit with women all over the country. The base is vanilla, and it got several other fragrances mixed in. Give it a try, it smells divine. But Maria, come on, what's the harm? Just a little splash on your wrist, like so. What you think? Ah, you're right, it smells wonderful. Doesn't it? So you like it? Yes, very much so. Excellent. Now off you go to the Great Hall. Are we really going to dance? You bet your butt we are. It's not healthy to hole up in your room all day. I know you can't handle a lot of sunlight, but you've gotta have some fun and move your body. Come on, let's go. Oh, Maria. Though she looked outwardly uncertain as Maria led her forward, hand around her waist, the white-haired girl seemed to be enjoying herself on the inside. Having spent her life without a single friend, she never dreamed the day would come when she found herself being dragged through the empty halls of a dark mansion by another woman. Maria's presence seemed to shine a light upon the quiet corridor. It would have been a very lonely trek without her. Maria spun around, gave an impish smirk, and raised her pointer finger to her lips with a soft shh. The sight of it caused the white-haired girl to chuckle quietly. The two of them, on their way to their secret private ball, were like two adolescent girls. In short order, they arrived at the Great Hall. My heart was pounding all the way here. What? There's no... What's there to be nervous about? It's not like you're breaking any rules. Only kids get in trouble for staying up late. Once you've grown up, you're responsible for yourself. I will say, though, that it seems rather odd for two women to dance together. Oh, if you're having a good time, what does it matter if it's between your legs? Where I come from, there are dances where families lock arms in a big ring and go around in circles. So who says two girls can have some fun together? I imagine you had many good moments with your family. Well, I don't have a family anymore. What? Alright, so I'll show you how it's done. Watch carefully, cause you're up next. Oh, okay. With a wide grin on her face, Maria began whistling softly and prancing across the floor with energetic rhythm. It was not the kind of complicated dance you see at a fancy party. The motions were simple, flowing, unembellished. A folk dance, I suppose you might call it. She seemed to be improvising a little bit as well. But in any event, the white-haired girl was captivated. Despite it being a sequence of steps anyone could replicate, Maria breathed life into the dance. She was neither as lithe as an acrobat and nor as lithe on her feet as a professional dancer. She was her own lively, beautiful self. Maria twirled in place, the skirt of her maid uniform billowing gently up around her. With a smile, she extended her hand towards the white-haired girl. She hesitated for a moment, but as if being pulled towards by some invisible force, she took Maria's hand. Hand in hand, Maria ushered the white-haired girl into her dance. It was just the two of them, but you could almost see the crowd forming around them. The other people stepping up to join in. That's it, madam. Doing great. Now lift your leg up. Good, and spin like so. This is not easy, Maria. I'm having trouble following along. You can do it. Looking good so far. You're natural, man. Oh, Maria, I won't fall for your flattery. I mean it. The whispers of the two girls, their muffled laughs. Step, hop, step, step. The rustling of fabric, many different soft sounds layer atop one another, creating a little bubble of happiness in the center of the hall. The white-haired girl movements were a great deal clumsier than Maria, but Maria would never disparage her for that. On the contrary, she showered her with praise. As flustered as the white-haired girl appeared, I imagined she was quite pleased. Before long, the tightness in her face muscle loosened, a smile spread across her lips, and she began to brighten up. See, what did I tell you? Fun, huh? Yes, I'm quite surprised, both that I can dance and that I enjoy it so much. Ha, glad to hear it. They exchanged looks and both laughed. That might have been the first time I had ever seen the white-haired girl so delighted. However, because of her infirmity, she quickly found herself out of breath. Her porcelain skin flushed red. Maria immediately stopped for a break. She could surely have continued dancing for some time, but Maria was okay, I have no idea what, conscious of the white-haired girl's physical condition. She looked over at Maria regretfully. My apologies, if only I had more stamina. I am a hardly suitable partner for you, Maria. Sure you are. This is all to cheer you up, madam, so as long as you're having fun, nothing else matters. And heck, I'm enjoying myself plenty too. What do you think? Wouldn't it be nice to do this again sometime? Whenever you're feeling down, let's dance. If you really do enjoy dancing with a frail girl like me, then I would be glad to. Have a little more confidence in yourself, madam. You're so pretty and kind-hearted. I have loads of fun when I'm with you. So you don't need to be hard on yourself, got it? Thank you. The pleasure is mine. 'Tis an absolute honor to have the rare opportunity to see such a bright smile on your face, madam. My apologies for keeping you out so late. I should get back to my room. Oh, I didn't even realize what time it was. I am more than up for a little more gum flapping. You have improved my mood more than adequately. I would not want you to be tired for work tomorrow. Okay. Well then, let's get out of here. Yes, let's. Smiles on both their faces, they made the exit. They made to exit the great hall. However, before they reached the door, it swung open. A man's towering shadow cast the two women into darkness, his cold, bitter glare affixed on them. If I'd had even the faintest premonition this might happen, I would have done anything in my power to stop the too cheery girl on the way to the hall. But I am eternally powerless. What are you doing? Standing before them in the doorway was the master of the house, GeneralApple. Ah, I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite a time. Look at you. You're out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? No, I wasn't going. Jacopo, calm down. Seriously. You shut it. Now you're taking this tramp's side. I have told you before, you are not to leave this house without first consulting me. Or do you mean to tell me you have forgotten? God, your ears aren't just for show, alright? They're better than that. They'll even throw out the parts you don't want to hear. No, I swear, I wasn't doing anything you... Silence, I have no interest in your excuses. You're always watching from the shadow, observing, trying not to step on anyone's toes. And in the back of your mind, you're mocking me. No, listen up and listen good. You just try stepping out of line again. You just try disgracing me again. You will not get away with it. For the love of God, get back to your room now. You too, Maria. Alright. God, what is this sickeningly sweet smell? How utterly infuriating. It will take forever to get this off me. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Man, no way he used to be kind. I refuse to believe it. Why did he have to dispatch her so? What did she do wrong? What did she do to deserve all that? She did nothing whatsoever wrong. She deserved none of the ridicule he showered her with. However, she was not a strong-willed woman. She did not have courage to retort to the men yelling at her. And neither did Maria, it seemed. Without another word, they both scrambled out of the great hall, away from Jacopo. The white-haired girl was painfully miserable sight to behold. The cheer had drained from her spirit, and her rosy hue from her now pale cheeks. She was hunched forward slightly, looking like a small scared animal. This is terrible. Say, I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you didn't feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interest at heart. So, don't worry. I will be fine. So, madam, I'll clear everything up. I really am to blame after all. He wouldn't even give you the time of day if you tried. He's a stubborn little shit when he's mad. I'll talk to him. He's more likely to listen to me. I'll make sure he knows he was jumping to the conclusion that I'm the only one dragged you here out there to dance. And also that I forced you to wear that perfume. I'll clear everything up, okay? So please, you cheer up. It would be best if I could tell him myself. But yes, you're right, he would likely not listen to me. He rarely ever listened to me. I should be ashamed. I cannot even hold a simple conversation with my own husband. These things happen, you know? It's not easy being married, in a lot of ways. Yes, you're right. I apologize for having to do something so unpleasant, but I would appreciate that. Oh, no problem. I'm happy to. No need to apologize. I've got this. I'll dunk his head in cold water until he's not blowing steam from his ears anymore. I'll cool him down, I promise. And you never know. Maybe he'll be open to listening. You could be back to the way you were a year ago in no time. Don't you worry. I'll take care of it, madam. Be positive. You look so much better with a smile on your face. All right. Thank you. No way. In a year, he became this. Atrocious. I doubt Jacopo would have listened, even coming from Maria, and I imagine the white-haired girl felt much the same way. However, she grabbed onto this sliver of hope. She let herself dream, she let herself believe, even just faintly, that everything would go well. Such is human nature. When uncertainty has you in its clutches, you grasp at whatever hopes you can find to keep yourself afloat. That night, she did not sleep. She was afraid that even in her dreams, Jacopo would be shouting at her. She felt as though her memories of a year prior were beginning to crumble away. The next morning, Jacopo stood alone in the den by the billiards table. He appeared to be rather agitated. His face was twisted into a frown, his pointer finger tapping relentlessly against the hard surface of the table. Evidently no longer able to stay in one place, he paced a circle around the table, then swiped up a rack and a cue, setting up a game of 9-ball. I'm not intimately familiar with the ways by which men entertain themselves, but in truth, I was bewitched by the sight of him leaning over the table. It almost seemed as though a steel rod ran straight from his shoulder to the tip of his outstretched finger, upon which the cue was secured by another finger looped over it. With a smooth flowing motion, he thrusted the cue forward slightly, pulling it back and repeating the process once more, before ramming it in the cue ball, sending it rolling into the diamond of colored balls. A chorus of clicks and clacks emanated from the center of the room. Balls collided with one another and ricocheted off the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edge of the table. Jacopo appeared to have accomplished this with little trouble, but I imagine merely striking the cue ball with the stick would be rather difficult for someone inexperienced. But despite his accomplishment, it seems to have only exacerbated his agitation. Lousy positioning, he muttered, though I hadn't the faintest idea what he was talking about. What should have been a game for his enjoyment, he went about with a constant look of exasperation. I suspect he was using it as a way to blow off steam, and as a result, the tension in the air was palpable. I felt it would be improper to intrude upon him, even considering my distaste for the man. There was an undeniable beauty in every motion he made, every perfectly audible clack of billiard balls bouncing off one another. It was an enchanting sight. But then, someone without the slightest regard or appreciation for beauty came marching in with a hammer to shatter it like glass. Gotta say, that was pretty impressive. A man leaned against the frame of the open door. He was neither a resident nor worker of the mansion. The man's face was covered in a scraggly stubble, his body draped in grime-caked garments. His eyes were sunken so deep it was as though I was looking at a fleshless skull, though there was a feral glimmer in them. Needless to say, he was not prime and proper. How long have you been there? Tommaso. Not long, but man, I can't help laughing. You were completely in your own word there. What do you want, and why didn't you send a maid for me? Don't be such a hard ass, we ain't stranger men. Why should family have to go through the maids to see you? That just ain't right, brother. Your doors should always be open for family. Enough. I'm not your family. They're bound by something even stronger than blood. By our family. Our Koska. Don't you ever bring up the Koska when it's in your interest. Ooh, scary. Come on now, what's happened to you, little Jack? Where'd your little boy who used to call me Uncle Tommy go? Don't you dare use that godforsaken name. Get the hell out of my sight. What in God's name are you doing here? The men hailed from the same country as Jacopo. They had a peculiar relationship. Though they were not blood related, he referred to Jacopo as family. They came from a sunny island in the Mediterranean Sea, a place of many unique customs and an entire underground society. Koska was a word that originated from and referred to those underworld families. It would be another 30 or so years before organizations like theirs received much public attention. At the time, they were not widely known. Just a short step into the future, and they would grow so powerful the very mention of them will send a chill through the room. Hey now, that's no way to talk to a fellow Berzati. You're on the short list to become the next couple familia. Oh man, the mobsters respect our brothers. That's how we operate. I could go home and say you threw me out of your house. How'd you like those rumors to spread? The soon-to-be capo familia wouldn't even listen to a little request. I very much doubt anything you said would damage my reputation. I ain't been exiled yet, and as long as I'm still one of them, they won't ignore me. Oh, that's something mighty fine looking. That's a mighty fine looking whiskey you got there. Don't mind if I do. Nothing is for you to drink. Booze is my lifeblood, man. No love for a brother. You worthless leech. It surely won't be long before you find yourself in exile. If you're lucky enough to get off the hook with just exile, that is. A child could snap you that scrawny neck of yours. Oh man. If I'm gonna go, I'd rather go tied up, tortured for days, covered in tiny little cuts from head to toe. You sick bastard, you disgust me. Call me a carnal adventurer. I despise the mundane. Last thing I want is to go out like a wet fart. Is this what you came for? To waste my time with your insipid nonsense? Oh, hardly. Surely you have an idea what I'm here for. And how much I need it. You damn maggot. A worthless leech, a sick bastard, and a damn maggot. Hey, what other names you got up your sleeve for me? You son of a... Do you honestly think this is how you ask for a favor? Oops, excuse me. I beg of thee, O esteemed future capo familia. I am bone broke, not even enough money to put bread on the table. Could you spare a little for a brother? You brought this on yourself, I'm sure. I hear more than enough stories about you, and hardly any of them are pleasant. Drinking, gambling, debauchery. I'm humiliated to be in the same Casca as you. You wanna make money playing, you gotta learn the game first. Says the worm who played himself into oblivion. Now, do you honestly believe I'll give you anything? Oh, but you will. You got no choice. Casca rules, you're required to help a fellow countryman, especially considering how few of us there are stranded on this colossal landmass. You won't even notice the money missing. It ain't because you can't, but because you don't wanna. But Jacopo being a tight ass does nothing for you. Me coming to you for help keeps your good name clean. That's the thing about being boss. You quietly keep the little shit like me out of trouble, so that trouble don't come raining back on you. You did not seem to understand your place. Rather than lecturing me, you should be on your hands and knees begging and crying for my help. If that's what you want, I'll gladly comply. Happy to kiss your boots while I'm at it. Don't even think about it. Know this, there won't be a second time. I will be reporting your conduct to the family back home. I look forward to seeing how they deal with you. Me just try to have a little mercy, would you? Hey, is there a maid around? It doesn't matter who. How may I serve you, master? Get a single stack from the safe. Here's the key. It goes without saying, but don't touch anything else. Give the money to that man as you were escorting him out the door. As you wish. Is that all you need? Yes, now get to it. Very well. Excuse me. Oh, that's one looker of a maid you got there. But there's something, I don't know, eerie, strange about her? Fancy that, we agree on something. How long she's been working here? Couldn't tell you. As I recall, she came with the house. Is that the kind of woman you fancy? A gal you can't read will always be interesting. Is that so? Now that he mentions it, how old is that woman? Do I suppose it doesn't much matter? Oh yeah, Jacopo. One other thing I want to talk to you about. What is it this time? And if it's more of your bladder, I will shoot you dead where you stand. No, there's no need for threats. This one's about your better half. What about my wife? Well, to put it simply, yeah, she came to me asking for advice, looking a little distressed. My wife asked you for advice? Yep. From the sounds of it, you're pretty rough on the little lady. That just ain't right, man. You managed to snag yourself a broad that's pretty, you oughta treat her at least a little better, you hear? She looks good with a smile. You gotta make her show it. Show it to you every once in a while. Why would she come to you about that? Don't ask me. Maybe she ain't got no one else to talk to? And you know, for whatever it's worth, I am proud of the same Casca. Guessing she thought I'd get through to you easier? Really, you just have to put a little more thought into how you act around her, and she'll be smiling for you like always. Oh yeah, I've got just a thing. Women love this stuff. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Is that perfume? Haven't you heard? Everyone's talking about it. I'm a big fan of the stuff too. Smells great. Pretty girl smiles at you wearing some of this. Any man would be in love in an instant. You've never given her nothing fashionable before, have you? May look just like scented water, but you can't let that fool you. Go on, give it to her. You look like a nice smelling lady too, don't you? Little bit of scent can give a different flavor to your nighttime excitement. Vanilla. Well, I've said my piece, so I'll be taking my leave. Don't want you to keep your maid waiting too long and get her bedside. Hold on. Why would she make it last? That's all the advice that your Uncle Tommy has for you. Ciao. Wait, what's it? I could go after him, but it would be a simpler task to catch him, grab him by the neck, and make him tell me. Tell me where he spoke with her, and what she told him. But why? Why will my legs not move? Asking him for advice? Fashionable perfume? Her smile? She looks good with a smile. She'll be smiling for you like always. That can't be. She hardly ever smiles around me. But she'll smile for him? Last night, when she was short of breath, having such a grand time wearing that perfume, getting ready to leave the house. Just who was that smile for? God damn it. Don't you think I'll let you run free any longer? So he's jealous. That's it? His eyebrows were forward, creating deep creases on his forehead. Several servants stood off to the side, watching their master attentively as he stomped past them down the corridor. However, no one said a word to him. Had I not been preoccupied attending to his countrymen, I likely could have prevented it. The look on his face would have made it obvious something bad was about to happen, something that would serve only to further her misfortune. She was already in a less than ideal situation, and was perched on the edge of a hill, soon to begin rolling down into an even worse territory. Jacopo? What's the matter? If you want to visit, you could have said something, rather than coming in without knocking. Is that really necessary? Pardon? Oh my god. Is there something you so desperately want to keep from me that I must knock before entering? That I should have let you know in advance that I'm coming? What are you? Well, is there? You went to talk to him behind my back, I'm told? What'd you tell him? You moaned for him about my behavior? Oh my god. Leave her alone, dude. It hurts. You told him I'm rough with you. You cried on his shoulder because I'm not nice enough? Him, of all people? Oh, that is horrible. That is hard to look at. Wait, Jacopo. You're mistaken. Let me... Silence, not a word. Not a single forsaken word. The only thing that comes out of your mouth is excuses, lies, and fabrications. You put on the sweet, innocent little girl act, but what's really going through your head? Maybe I should just rip that mask off your face. Stop, Jacopo. You look down on me, your nobility, and I'm just a nobody who married into it. No, stop. Let go of me, please. When did it start? How long have you been seeing him? Who else have you been seeing? Covering yourself in fashionable perfume and smiling even though you never smile around me. Please let me go. I can see it in your eyes. He's just a worthless commoner. Why would you think that? Why will you not listen to me? Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. I tell you not to leave the house, but you do. I tell you to do as I say, but you ignore me. Every last thing you do drives me mad. I don't have time right now to deal with this, to rack my mind over you, over a woman. I don't have time for it. Why do you not do as I say? Do you not have enough already? Will you not be satisfied until you've taken even my arms and legs? I've given you money, clothing, everything. You have an incredible life. Look around you. The life of luxury you and your parents wanted. It's right here. You have it. What more could you possibly want? Why do you insist on being unfaithful? Unfaithful? You think that what I'm doing is unfaithful to you? How else should I describe it? You leave your room despite my ordering you not to. Don't think I don't know. When you came to the den the other day, you had your eyes on the other men. Man, he has some issues. No, I did not. I had no such inclination. Enough. Not another word from you. I have no interest in your excuses. If that's how you're gonna act, then say goodbye to your freedom. You're forbidden from leaving the mansion, or your room for that matter, or even speaking to the servants. Oh, I know what to do. I'll make you a new room. Too many people come in and out of this one. It'll be somewhere quieter, out of the way. You like the garden. How about I put it there? If you leave that room without my permission this time, I will kill you. Why will you not listen to me? Jacopo, the master of the house, likely loved the white-haired girl. That is what I saw in their exchange. Normally, love is supposed to be sweet, warm, a wonderful emotion. It makes you care for, value that person even more than yourself. But it was the exact opposite for him. I never knew that love could be such a painful thing. How did this love end up so twisted? What did he expect to happen by confining and abusing the woman he loved? Perhaps he was conscious of that. To be human is sometimes to find yourself driven by uncontrollable internal impulses. A few days later, Jacopo dragged the white-haired girl from chamber and led her outside. The garden she had once loved is now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary space, nary a rose in sight, and being taken, there did nothing to improve her mood, only saddened her further. The cold, great pile of metal freckling in the barren earth seemed to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacopo would not have it. He shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. How did things end up this way? Why? All I wanted was to go back the way things used to be. For us to be able to smile around each other. Something's weird here. It had been several days since Jacopo had locked her in the shed, and her day-to-day life was only growing more arduous. She was under constant surveillance. The door was only unlocked to deliver her meals 3 times a day. And despite what unfortunate situation their employer wife found herself in, the maids chattered and gossiped and giggled freely. Not even in the shadows, out of her presence, the tactless young maidservants whispered directly to the white-haired girl when they brought her meals. "Look at you, madam, caged away like cattle." I could almost hear the sound of cracks forming in her heart. I imagined she had gotten to the point where she was having difficulty merely holding herself together. She had done nothing wrong, and yet she was forced to live this life of insults and mockery, of ridicule. The only reason her tenaciously held together spirit did not completely shatter was because she still had her one and only ally. The maid Maria volunteered to attend to the white-haired girl. Maria took over the duty of delivering her 3 meals, meaning the other maids stopped coming by. And that relieved the white-haired girl's mental and emotional stress considerably. Maria became her sole conversation partner, her sole companion. She did not leave as soon as meals were finished, instead remaining in the shed the white-haired girl for some time. The white-haired... Oh, man, that is sad. "So, madam, how about a funny story? I flowered up pretty hard the other day. You wanna hear about that?" So a couple of days back, I didn't get enough sleep in the previous night, right? I'm helping out in the kitchen, half awake, plating up some food. And when I go to bring it out to the guest, my hearing about leaps out of my mouth. Guess why? What I thought was a plate was actually an ashtray. Ma'am, I was sweating like a pig. The guest didn't seem to notice, but the other maids were pale as ghosts the entire time. Just about everyone had himself a case of the vapors. I got quite the tongue lashing at cleanup. Pretty funny, huh? Oh, did you? Sound like it was a pretty bad day. Yeah. Hey, madam? I know there's not much point in telling you to cheer up right now. But I'm sure he won't keep you locked up forever. He's just a bit crabby for now. It'll be alright. Although, I guess that is a bit drastic for a temper tantrum. I'm sorry, madam. If only I'd pushed him a little bit harder. If only I had a little more influence, you might have not been in this situation. I thought I could be of some help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job of that. Of course not, Maria. You absolutely are. Just your being here takes a great weight on my shoulder. Still, though, I feel worthless. Because I'm just a maid, I can't set you free. It's okay. I'm used to being imprisoned. What? What do you mean used to it? He never locked your door before. Nah, you're right. I'm not sure why, but I feel as though I have been in a similar predicament before, lacking freedom and content with others for a long stretch of time, and content. I'm sure it's simply the exhaustion getting to you, ma'am. No one should ever be used to living like this. She's remembering your past lives. Or something like that. Yeah, I agree. And I pray things go back to the way they were soon. Has getting mad at him never crossed your mind? Getting mad? Yeah, you know, when he yells, you yell back. Let him know he's in the wrong. Never considered doing that? I guess you're not one to get angry, madam. Which would mean you're better a fit for a holy mother than me. Oh no, I do sometimes want to get angry. To tell you the truth, it's almost always going through my mind how if I did raise my voice, perhaps he would listen to what I have to say. But when I'm standing there in front of him and he starts shouting at me, I freeze up and end up not saying a word. I'm just such a pitiful woman. Everything about me. When I need to speak up most, to stand up for myself, I cannot. Oh, don't look so down. That's not a bad thing. It just got in your little... it just got you in a little bit of a pickle right now. But I'll clear everything up with him, you hear me? In my mind, your modesty is a virtue. And the more I think about it, I can't even imagine you screaming. I like you better the way you are, reserved and ladylike. You can leave all the yelling to me. I'll do whatever I can to help you, madam. Were you able to clear up his confusion about the night where we were dancing? Oh, about that. Sorry, he just wouldn't hear it. I see. But I'm not throwing in the towel. I'll keep trying as long as it takes. So, say Maria, could I perhaps ask another favor? Oh yeah, sure, let me have it. I would like to write him a letter. A letter to someone who lives in the same house? Yes. As things stand, I cannot simply go visit him on a whim. And I feel as though I could calmly express on paper things I'm unable to say to him face to face. I suspect I might have more luck that way. I also believe he would be more likely to maintain his composure reading my thoughts in a letter than hearing them from my mouth. With this, I can clear up all the confusion, and things can go back to the way they were. A letter, huh? Interesting. I'll write the letter, which I would like you to deliver to him. May I ask that of you? Absolutely, not a problem. Thank you, Maria. You're the only person I can count on, and I mean that. This Maria girl is Omega Sassy. I think she might be sabotaging her on purpose. That's what I'm feeling. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I think that's what's happening. I think she's sabotaging her on purpose. She led her down that corridor. She didn't really speak with him. She whispered things behind her back. I think this is it. Why, how did this happen? Why should she betray me? I want to give her a decently happy life. I didn't want to get violent with her. Yet, when I saw her face, when I heard what she had to say, I couldn't restrain myself. I guess what it comes down to it is that no matter how you dress it up, I'm still a Berzati. There was never any way for this bloodline to give that girl happiness. God damn it, why am I fretting over this nonsense? And I'm supposed to be the future head, huh? Oh, this was such a beautiful picture. An illusion. But they're dancing. They really are. And they look like they're having a wonderful time. Are you sure it's an illusion and not something else? To me, it does not seem to be. I cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand and try to grab them. You won't be able to. Ah, you're right. That's a shame. I didn't think you actually would, but it's the most precious thing. They look as though they're dancing atop my palm. It's almost frightening how much innocence rests within those hands. It's as if they've been completely cut off from all the world's filth. My hands, however, are soaked in blood. Oh man, I'm on the verge of tears. Holy. Oh, this is one of the best games I've played. Man, the texts are so good. It's so good. I fear that bringing her into my world may taint her. Am I capable of protecting this woman's purity? So that's what he thought to himself. And yet, as I watched her so joyously playing, I felt as though I had gotten close to her. I was the one being a child that day. Jacopo, it's me, Maria. If it's alright, may I come in? Maria. It's fine, come in. Color me surprised. I didn't think you'd let me in. Have I ever denied you access to my room? No, but you've been looking pretty glum lately. I've never exactly been a cheery man. Ha, true enough. I know you told me before not to talk about your wife, but I'm going to stick my nose where it doesn't belong today. There's been a lot of chatter among the maids lately about you getting rough with her. I mean, you've got the poor thing locked up in a shed outside. You're not leaving the best impression on anyone. You here to box my ears? I don't know, 50-50? The other half is, I'm concerned about you. I know you're not the kind of man to threaten someone without a good reason. You're not. Okay, so she does seem to not sabotage her, so maybe I was wrong. I thought you were friends with her. I am. And it hurts seeing her in so much pain. Then why has that not changed the way you act around me? I would think you'd be scorning me with the rest of the maids. Oh, I see how it is. You don't trust me. And we've known each other for so long. This isn't a question of whose side I'm on. You're in pain too, I can see that. You always bottle things up, kept them hidden. You're too proud to rely on others. But you should probably vent to someone before it reaches to the point where you no longer can. Say, Jacopo, do you remember the promise we made a while back? How far back? Back when you were still shorter than me. Oh, so she's probably from the mainland. Make sure from his land. That's why she can speak to him so casually. You were 14 and I was 12. I had to leave town and you came to see me off. Quite frankly, I didn't think you'd come. I was surprised, even if I didn't show it. Young Maria. Jacopo? Where's your dad? Or are you here alone? He didn't even tell me, huh? There's no reason you have to leave town. My old man says Count Lamellas have more power. I should be the one leaving. It's not that simple. Grown-ups have a lot to consider. So don't give me that look, Jacopo. We were kids, but we both kind of started to catch on to the situation with our families and to the bonds that land held on us. Although we didn't know any of the details at the time. My grandpa owned all the land in the city was built on, but he was a very conservative man. He didn't try to spread his influence instead of opting to fortify what he already had. I don't know exactly when it first started, but organizations were used to and administrate cities. And when we were kids, my dad was the capo familia, and my grandpa was his consigliere. But just because he was an advisor didn't mean he was powerless. My dad made the decisions. My grandpa was the one allowed to fight him on them. Your father was the capo di Signa that served under my dad. He wasn't especially happy about that. But parents quarreling doesn't affect their kids, or at least that's what I thought at the time, and what you probably thought too. But there was still a chance we could be caught in the crossfire, so my dad decided to send me and my mom away. Off the island and to the north were some more prosperous areas. He thought that by sending us there, we could live our lives clean regardless of where we came from. There's no changing in your blood though. You could have told me too. Or were you planning on leaving without saying anything? No, it was just all decided so quickly. Why do you sound so accepting? Adults have a lot to consider. You bet they do. But you could have at least let them know let them know you're opposed to it. Maria. But no, your tail went straight between your legs as soon as you were told. You just gave up and accepted it straight away. I thought you were better than that. You think I don't know that? But I'll be in my dad's way if I stay. I'm a kid, a girl. I wouldn't be any help if something happened. And I don't want to need someone to protect me. I've never once thought of you as a girl. Hey now, that's mean. Oh geez, thank Jacopo. Now you're getting me all mushy too. If anyone should be sad here, it's me. I'm not sad. Oh really? You're sure you're not actually torn that I won't be around anymore? You're a huge crybaby after all, Jacopino. Hey, whenever I ever cried, and don't call me that. Ha, I made you mad, short-fused as ever, I see. You've gotta learn to keep your head. You're a man, and the heir to the Berzati family. Huh, don't you lecture me. So pig-headed. You could at least listen to me this once before I'm gone. Hey Maria, got a little time to spare? Yeah, sure, but not much. The carriage is gonna be here soon. Do you have enough for a trip to the hill and back? Yeah, I should have time for that. Because of our families, we weren't really able to get along with the other kids in the city, so we played a lot up in the top of the hill. It became kind of our little secret lair. There was an abandoned house up there, I guess an old farmhouse or something, and kids love that sort of thing, you know? We called it Casa Nostra, our home, and we pretended it was actually ours. We'd draw circles on the walls in chalk and use it for target practice. We brought a bale of straw and used it to make makeshift beds. When either of us got into fights with our parents, we'd stay all night here instead of home. In retrospect, I'm sure they knew where we were going and just let us do our thing. Oh yeah, there was this one time we were playing and a huge storm rolled in, trapping us up there. The wind wasn't just howling, it was screaming bloody murder. It was blowing so hard I thought the house might fly away. As I recall, you were crying that night. Hey, hey Nero, you came here to see me off too? Ah, there you go wagging your tail with a dumb look on your face. You have no idea what's going on, do you? It wasn't just the two of us who had made Casa Nostra our home base though. There was one more a stray, black dog. I'm pretty sure it didn't have actually black fur though, it was just really, really dirty. Of course he doesn't. He's a stupid animal. Oh, don't you talk about him like that. He's one of us. What were you planning to do about Nero? Just leave him behind? Nothing else I can do. Can't bring a dog in the carriage. Besides, you're here, so it will be fine. You take care of Nero, right? He doesn't like me. You're the only one who can take care of him. Maybe so, but I'm not coming back. He'll starve to death if you don't figure something out. He's a puny runt. I doubt he could win a fight in a fight for scraps. Come on, do it for me? You said you won't be coming back. Did you mean that? Are you absolutely never returning to this town? There's no telling what may or may not happen, so it's best not to get your hopes up. Better than the pain of getting let down. Well, I've turned into quite a cynic, huh? Maybe if I'd been born to a more normal family, I'd be in my room in a pile of dolls right now, my head in the clouds. I can't imagine you doing that, nor do I think that's normal. Huh, well said. Hey, stop that, Nero. Quit licking me, that tickles you, and you reek. Maria, what is it? Come back. I don't care if you don't know when it will be, just don't say you'll never return. No one knows how things are gonna end up. Maybe my old man will gain more power, or maybe yours will. If things continue as they are, it will be your old man. Then, down the line, I will work in the service of the Capo family. And that's just fine by me. But even if that's not the future that lies ahead, I promise I will make a place for you. So Maria, question. Do you have a crush on me? What? Kidding, I'm just kidding. No need for a conniption fit. I was just playing around. Here I am trying to have a serious conversation and then you listen to me. I don't have any of those, you know? Those kind of feelings for you. I consider you a lifelong friend. My one and only friend. That's why I came to see you off. And that's why I'm telling you this now. Whether you're a girl or a boy is irrelevant. Friendship lasts much longer than something so fanciful as romance, am I wrong? Don't laugh, damn it. It's humiliating. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I agree entirely. Yeah, we've always been on the same page, Jacopo. Maybe we did fight a lot, but there wasn't one we didn't get through. No one else understood just how lonely it was. Wearing a mask for all the other kids. Trying to fit in to their happy little circle. We couldn't afford to be found out after all. Neither of us had real allies. Except for each other, of course. Nope. I'm glad I got the chance to play with you. If you hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't have bothered caring for Nero either. Oh my god, I never thought I'd cry at this part. My god. Okay, I'm choking up a bit. It was too funny watching him chase you around. You're a sick girl, Maria. So, hey, Jacopo, this place will still be Casa Nostra, even after I leave, right? You won't do anything to it, will you? Of course not. This is our home. That was always the plan. Right. Thanks. Though, you know, you being all nice is kinda creepy, Jacopo. It's not gonna start showing, is it? How rude. Huh. Well, if you're gonna be like that, I'm not sure I want to give it to you. Huh? Give me what? A present? You should have said so sooner. Give me. You don't have a shred of tact, do you? What's it matter? Come on, what you bring? Let me have it, soldier. Oh, Maria. Consider this a temporary parting gift. You'd been wanting one of these for a while. Oh, is that a cartridge? From a Colt Navy? No way, did you swipe it? I'll probably catch hell for it too. Wow, this is amazing. I always want to get my hands on the real thing. This is from the one hanging up in your house, isn't it? The one your dad was bragging about. They just started selling them this year. And it's ridiculously hard to get your hands on one, or so I hear. Man, guns from the New World are something else, alright? Just imagining the moment the hammer comes crashing down on the back of this and chills down my spine. Are you sure you're a girl going crazy over a bullet cartridge? What's the big deal? I like what I like. You'll get in trouble if you don't put this back though, won't you? Don't worry, I'll return it when you return. And I won't tell anyone I gave it to you. Okay, well I guess I'll take you up on that then. Thanks, Jacopo. It'll be my treasure. This goes without saying. But don't you lose it. I'm giving it to you as a symbol of a friendship. No matter how far apart we may be, or how much time may pass, or how things play out with our families, we will always be friends. That cartridge symbolizes that promise. It's a promise, Jacopo. Our families may outwardly hate each other, but I'll always be your friend, always be on your side, and don't you ever go back on those words. I swear upon this glorious cartridge, this historic land, and the names of my ancestor, I shall not make myself a liar. I trust you, Maria. We'll meet again. It may be many years from now, But that won't change a thing. Our friendship will never fade. Oh my god. Oh my days. I couldn't stop crying. Damn, that was the best part so far. That was absolutely the best part so far. Okay. God, you were adorable back then. And short to boot. But now, you've hardened so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you. Dressed all fancy from head to toe. You'd become quite a smug little bastard, I thought. You sure weren't that little kid anymore. You have quite the memory. Well, yeah, I don't forget my promises. And I never forget what I said. I'll always be on your side. The question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. Though it is quite some distance away now. I imagine if we went back and did a little work on it, we could have it looking just like old times. And Nero? About a year after you left, he suddenly disappeared. And just for the record, I did take care of him, as you told me to. I'm guessing he got in a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but could never find him. Ah, well, it has been more than a decade. Not everything's gonna be exactly the same. You, however, haven't changed a bit from the girl you were all those years ago. Neither of you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at your core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacopino. Could you not call me that? I have changed quite a bit, unlike you, and I'm well aware of it. Say, Jacopo, do you consider me supportive? Of everything you could have said. Of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You are proof of the existence of a kind of friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other such distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without a stick up your ass. Wow, harsh words. Come on now, hear me out. You almost had me blushing there. Anyway, before you put the stick back up there, tell me something. Am I still your only ally? Oh, you said something? You are. Of everyone in this mansion, am I the only one? Yes. If she would at least have a little more... The madam. I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. I mean, from a girl perspective, what you did is pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl, according to you anyway. I will always be on your side, no matter what. God, I feel as though I'm being consoled. Huh. That's what I was going for. I should have never opened up to you. Ha. Ha. Huh? Hey, no, probably not the best time to bring this up, but I have a letter. A letter. Written by the madam. Here. A letter from my wife. Let me see it. Okay, seems to be a bit flabbergasted. What the hell am I reading? I was considering keeping it a secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might only hurt you more, so I decided it was best to show you. Who is this? Who is this letter for? It says if, but that can't. I love you? Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacopo, and listen to me. Yeah. Oh my god, I knew it, bro. I called it. I actually called it. Oh my days. Oh my days. I knew it. Oh, it was obvious. It was clear as day. I knew it. I knew it. Oh my god, I knew it. I actually knew it. Shame on her. Shame on her. And I knew it before even getting the whole, like, past thing between them. That pretty much made it clearer, but I knew before that. It was too sussy. Oh my gosh, shame on you. Shame on you. The madam is having an affair. Oh my god. And that would be the end of the video for today. I know I paused at a really crucial moment, really just a massive cliffhanger. But I need to take a moment to process all of this information. This has been the best episode so far. My god, the twist was incredible. Even though I anticipated it still hit me like a truck. It is so good. It's the first time I actually even teared up a bit. I got a little bit, choked up, emotional. It was really good. It was really good. The whole passing and seeing how we used to be and their interaction with each other. It was wonderful. It was so well done. Honestly, just perfect. Perfect. So I got a little bit choked up there. But yeah, I'm dying to continue this, but this episode, I don't want this video to last for like 3 hours, so we have to end it now. I'll process all of this information. I'm dying to continue this, but yeah, that's all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.